Hello, and this is Cian Toomey again for week 6 in Money in Banking. So again, this is the week the Nobel Prize in Economics was awarded to 3 people working in the general area of banking, Diamond, Dybvig and Bernanke. And it's worth having a look at the Nobel Prize website to see what they were awarded this prize for. It does relate to what we're covering to some extent in the class, and in particular what we're going to be moving on to next, which is how central banks dealt with the last crisis. So this week we looked at 2 things. First of all, on Tuesday we looked a little bit more at fintech, and we looked at the global fintech reports that have been published recently, and those will be useful to get ideas of trends in the fintech for the case study that you're looking at. And then secondly, we also looked at Alipay a little bit, and mentioned that obviously this was going to be the world's most successful fintech IPO. However, the Chinese authorities intervened. It's still a very successful fintech, and it does a lot of things. And again, it would be an interesting candidate for the case study. We also then briefly looked at open banking and PSD2, and mentioned that this is, I suppose, something that is just still, I suppose, in its early stages. It's only really come in since 2020, but for instance, when you link up your Revolut to your bank account, that's open banking, or you link up Google Pay to your bank, that's open banking. So it has many different implications, and the main thing really is that it's opening up bank customer data to third-party providers. And what that will lead to, it's an interesting one to think about, because again, it links up to the fintech issues. And then in Thursday's class, we moved on to the third topic, which is central banks, and we started by looking at, I suppose, the history of central banks, how they emerged initially as monopoly printers of notes and coins, but since have developed other functions. So again, it's worth having a look at Chichetti chapter 15 on the functions of central banks, making sure you understand those. And then we finished by mentioning the Bank of England and the fact that they had to intervene for financial stability reasons, and that to some extent was in conflict with the price stability mandate perhaps. And I finished by mentioning to watch the space, and indeed today as I speak, the Chancellor in the UK has resigned. The Bank of England governor is still where he is, and it'll be interesting then over the next week or so to see what happens to the UK markets and how the bank proceeds from here. So just again, a quick final reminder that the MCQs are due on Monday. Thank you.